Hello friends, today in this video we are going to learn about a class and different types of classes. I mean main class, subordinate class, relative class, defining relative class, non-defining relative class, finite class and non-finite class. In this video we learn about all in detail. First of all, what is a clause? Clause means a group of words with a subject and a predicate. It is a part of a sentence, though it has meaning, but it doesn't have complete sense. It is not used in separately. It is a part of a sentence. These clauses are two types, main clause and subordinate clause. Main clause is a group of words with subject and finite verb, and it can stand by itself as a complete sentence. But subordinate clause, which contains a subject and a finite verb, but it does not have complete thought, depends on another clause for complete meaning. It begins with subordinate conjunctions. What are the subordinate conjunctions? Some of the subordinate conjunctions are who, when, while, as, since, after, before, as soon as, because, no sooner than, or some of the subordinate conjunctions. These subordinate conjunctions are used with subordinate clauses. With main clauses, coordinate conjunctions are used. What are the coordinate conjunctions? Some of coordinate conjunctions are so, and, but, for, nor, or, yet. These are some of the coordinate conjunctions. These coordinate conjunctions used with main clauses. Subordinate conjunctions are used with subordinate clauses. Coordinate conjunctions are used with main clauses. And next, relative clauses. Relative clauses are two types: defining relative clause, non-defining relative clause. First of all, what is a relative clause? A relative clause is a group of words with a subject and a predicate. This relative clause gives more information about a noun. It describes about a noun or a pronoun. So, most of the relative clauses are adjective clauses because they modify noun or pronoun. For example, the boy who is suffering from fever is admitted in a hospital. In the sentence, who is suffering from fever is a relative class. The relative class begins with who is a relative pronoun. Generally, relative clauses are begin with relative pronouns or relative adverbs. Relative pronouns, for example, who, whose, whom. These are the relative pronouns used for persons. Which is a relative pronoun used for things. That is a relative pronoun that is used either persons or things. And some of the relative clauses begin with relative adverbs where it describes place, when describes time, how describes reason. So many relative adverbs are there. And next, these relative clauses are two types: defining relative class, non-defining relative class. So, what is a defining relative class? Defining relative class adds essential information to the sentence. It describes about particular person or particular thing we are talking about. This defining relative class makes the sentence meaningful. It helps us understand easily. For example, my uncle who lives in India is a famous lawyer. In the sentence, who lives in India is a defining relative class. It defines the noun, my uncle. Here, the sentence describes that I have some uncles. All are not lawyers, particularly the uncle who lives in India is a lawyer. Some uncles, different areas living, but those uncles are not lawyers. Only particularly which uncle lives in India is a lawyer. So here the clause defines the subject. It is the essential information about the subject. And another example, the fruits which are kept in a basket are spoiled. In the sentence, which are kept in a basket is a defining relative class. It refers that all fruits are not spoiled. The fruits which are kept in a basket only spoiled. Some fruits are in fridge, some fruits are in a box, but all are not spoiled, particularly which are kept in a basket are spoiled. So, it is a defining relative class. It defines the subject. And second one, non-defining relative class. Non-defining relative class does not define the subject. Non-defining relative class just adds extra information to the subject. You take a same example, my uncle, comma, who lives in India is a famous lawyer. Here non-defining relative clause is followed by a comma or a hyphen. The sentence expresses that I have a uncle, he lives in India, he is a lawyer. Here we understand that I have only one uncle, that uncle lives in India, that uncle is a lawyer. Here, giving the non-defining relative clause gives extra information about the uncle. If we remove the non-defining relative clause, the sentence meaning should not be disturbed. Next, what is a finite clause? A finite clause which contains a finite verb and a subject, it is called a finite clause. A finite clause has tense and a number. Main clauses and subordinate clauses all are finite clauses only. The last one, non-finite clause. A non-finite clause which is based on non-finite verbs like infinitive, participle or gerund, and they express meaning. These non-finite clauses do not have subject, they do not have finite verbs, just they function as adjuncts. For example, hearing the sound, the baby woke up. In the sentence, hearing the sound is a non-finite clause. Hearing is a present participle. It hasn't a subject, it hasn't a finite verb, even though it has meaning. It has meaning, that is why it is named clause, non-finite clause. Another example, having finished his work, he went to bed. In this sentence, having finished his work is a non-finite clause. He went to bed is a main clause. Having finished, here it is a used non-finite, means here perfect participle used. Perfect participle or present participle or infinitives or gerunds are non-finitives. They are not showing time. They are not having subject. So those are called non-finite, non-finites, non-finite verbs which used in non-finite clauses. Thank you.